Alright, let's go. Hello, hello, welcome to something a little bit spooky. That's right, the Little Nightmare Showcase is here. Now, I know this is a weird year for all of the Summer Game Fest and all that. You know, E3's long dead. But they were all a little bit dry. I felt it too. It was like, where the hell? Nobody's showing up. Where's Ubisoft and EA? Sony's gone to sleep. And pretty much not really too many reveals. And this is why I think with the the online showcase stuff really taken off in the last couple of years, and with COVID and that, they've all decided we don't need to pay a crazy amounts. We can just do our own showcases. And we're starting off one here with the Little Nightmares Showcase. Now we know Little Nightmares 3 is coming. It's been handled by a separate team. The actual original team of Tarsier, they're working on their own game, which is called Reanimal, which is quite Little Nightmares like as well. But they'll be fun, so they'll be going at it. As I said, I probably have heard about a Little Nightmares 1 remaster with the 4Ks and the bells and the whistles and all that. But yeah, here we go. So we'll also have a Capcom showcase, and also, what was the other one? On my brain, there's a THQ Nordic one, which I'm excited for. Come on, give me something Darksiders. And I can't think of the other one now, it's gone. Might have been the Little Nightmares one. But yeah, here we go. Let's have a look, see what's going on in the land of Little Nightmares. Will 6 return? We'll have to see. 6 and the kid. Now, I think Little Nightmares 3 is going to finally officially have co-op, which has been teased. You know, we were almost like debated with Little Nightmares 2. Let's see. It's a great series. It really is just an evolution of the Limbo series back in the day. And of course, anything horror-based and, YouTube and Twitch and all that creates a wild fandom around these things. Alright, alright. Nice. You can see they're showing all three here. So maybe a collection for Switch 2 or something? We're getting a mix of all three. Maybe, you know what would be really cool? Hear me out, right? A Little Nightmares collection, but they bleed into each other. One to one to one, like you don't stop.
Go back to sleep, little one.
Ooh, ooh. So if you don't know what's kind of going on here, it's sort of kind of what's going on with Ori as well, and what happened with Dying Light and Dead Island and all that. These companies, these publishers are like, hey, we want more from this. Same with like Arkham Origins from Rocksteady and Warner Bros. Montreal. We want more from this franchise. You guys are busy, you want to relax and let the creativity flow. Oh damn, Jane Douglas.
Little Nightmares Showcase event.
She's a Little Nightmares fan.
I'm Maya, community manager on Little Nightmares, and I'm so happy to be here, especially since we have some
good old Jane from Outside Xbox. She's cool.
We're going to be joined by some fantastic guests who have been working on a variety of Little Nightmares games and projects.
And hopefully they don't go sending too many chills down our spines.
Hopefully.
Now, recently,
they're going to be talking to us
I
about
watched
the fantastic projects that they've been
the
working
Digital
on,
Happiness
and
Showcase, and
we're
I know
going to
you're
get an
like,
exclusive reveal.
the fuck is that? What? Don't just say words, Cyber. I know, but it's the guys who made Dread Out, which are an amazing kind of Fatal Frame Project Zero knockoffs, and they're amazing devs. They're Indonesian. They're living literally in humid hell in an office, 2 fans, 8 computers, and they're making like Souls-like, Dread Out 3. They're making a cool visual nightmare novel kind of thing. Oh man, I'm telling you, check out Digital Happiness. Cool guys. Alright, sorry.
Terrifying locations, from haunted hospitals to creepy kitchens,
Mommy.
many of our childhood fears have come to life.
We gotta
And
get
now
some
it's time to
co-op
face
going
another
for this,
one
right,
in
boys
this
and girls?
exclusive
Yes.
Little Nightmares 3 trailer.
Mommy. Are you guys excited? Do you care about this kind of stuff? Is it like so? This one's clearly very, spooky circus fairground vibes. Bandai Namco. They're doing well for themselves. These are gonna be our new little friends. Supermassive. Oh yeah. And we see some of the giant people. The first game is quite a mystery. Even to this day, it's still quite a mystery. Where we have 6, this girl, is she a girl, is she a thing? In her little yellow raincoat. A creepy, almost Japanese-style haunted witch coming after her. She was on an island. It was an island full of like cannibalistic, giant humanoid things. Very strange. But nothing was ever explained. Then we got DLC. And 2 was about this little kid, and he was like a little dude in a little knapsack. There's kind of a connection, but it wasn't. The gnomes are back. Let's go, little gnomies. Yeah, they're strange little worlds for sure. It'll be interesting to see how this is taken. I think holding on to the name will be enough for most people. The average gamer doesn't have a fucking clue what the difference between a developer, a publisher, marketers. They don't understand any of that stuff. You just see a name. Little Nightmares 3.
As you've just seen, the carnival will be the main focus.
She's a hand talker
at Little Nightmares 3, and we'll revisit it.
If she ever loses her job, she could become a mime.
And a deep dive into that gameplay. But
Johnny Knoxville set to host the Fear Factor.
We're ready to reveal the release date for Little Nightmares 3.
September 27th.
The release date is here. Little Nightmares 3 is coming out on the 10th of October.
Oh, close.
2025.
Nice. Okay, that's good. September's already chock-a-block in it. October 10th.
But before we get into Little Nightmares 3 with that shiny new release date, let's talk about Little Nightmares as a franchise. I'm joined now by Little Nightmares franchise director, Lucas Roussel. Lucas, thank you for joining me. Welcome.
Franchise director. What world are we living in, huh?
I'm so delighted that you're here.
It's a couple of 2.5D games. Chill out.
Little Nightmares anniversary this year.
Yeah, I mean, this event is a bit special to me because it's
gonna have a
10
movie,
years now
probably
that I
some
to work on Little Nightmares.
Merch, maybe.
And when I think back to how we started, you know, I'm delighted and very humbled to see how far we've come.
And you must have worked with some really talented people over those 10 years.
My
yes,
God, has
so
it been 10 years?
From Tarsha Studio to Supermassive Games, I had the opportunity to work with.
Oh my God, I feel
people.
an old,
and
decrepit
today
bastard.
We will meet new faces, new
Has
talent,
it been 10 years?
working on the franchise.
Maybe like 10 years
a lot of them started off
since
as
they developed
fans,
this.
and now they're putting back, you know, all that.
I feel like I
love
played that
and
on the
energy
channel, like it was like
back into the
2017 or
games
something.
and the content
Are you
that
sure?
they're creating.
I always think that's so cool when fans of something get to work on the thing they're so passionate about.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, and I really want to take this opportunity to thank
I love
all
that. I
the
wish
fans
more
around the world,
fans
from
and
a single
modders got
game
hired.
to a multimedia franchise. They've been, you know, all the
Multimedia
time
franchise, here we
supporting
go.
us, and they're really the ones who are keeping
Little
us
Nightmares,
you know,
the movie.
motivated to continue
No.
pushing the boundaries of Little Nightmares even
Little
further.
Jack Black as
it's the fans that make Little
6.
Nightmares extra special.
Don't get to see his face.
Now,
Fuck, I'm falling off my
as a
chair, man. I'm
show,
so
we
excited.
tease that
You don't
we're
get to see his
gonna be talking
face.
about some
You only
new
get to
Little
see like
Nightmares
the beard.
projects.
Why couldn't the bastard
Can you
shave his
share
beard, man?
anything on those?
Yes, I mean,
Jack Black has
before
secretly
that,
been
you know,
going
I
through
just
like a
wanna say
massive
to
like
me, Little
midlife
Nightmares
crisis depression.
is, you know,
We're all
the
like,
world. The world
Jumanji
is
4!
most important.
You know, and he's like,
Because it's
dude is
filled,
like
you know,
fucked
with
in the head.
mysteries, it's full
He needs
of
therapy.
amazing
He doesn't need a
characters,
movie role.
monsters, and location.
I'm Steve
Each of
with
them
a horrible
has
hobo
a
beard.
unique,
Like,
you know, story.
when?
I think with
Not
the
even
games, we
in
just scratched
Captain
the
Sparkle's
surface of what
animation
Little
Wildest
Nightmares
Dreams
can
did he ever
offer,
have a
and
hobo
the other
beard.
types of media, you know, really
Like,
allow
pay the
us
man.
to, you know,
I
tell
think ever
different
since like the
stories in
CGI
new,
cover-up
new
of
ways.
That's very
Superman and Henry
intriguing. What do you
Cavill's
mean
mustache,
exactly?
things have
Well,
been
you
weird
know,
around
let's take the example of
beards
the Sounds
in
of
movies.
Nightmares, you know, the podcast that we released 2 years ago. We were amazed.
Some of
by the
Fortnite event
reception,
lackluster, just
the
like last
fans
year. Oh, you think so?
especially when it comes
Lackluster.
to
Do you
the
call
main
him
character,
Dynamite?
Noon. And actually, if you enjoy the podcast, then I think you should stay a little longer, you know, with us in the show because we will have some exclusive.
I'm surprised there's
news
not
to
a,
share.
I suppose
Brilliant,
they
thank
wouldn't
you,
mention it,
Lucas.
but
I mean,
I'd say
I
there's a
love
small
the
little
podcast,
fallout
and if you didn't
between,
listen to the podcast, you're missing out. We've
you
got a
know,
little
handing
bit
over,
of it
passing
for
the
you
torch
now.
into the
Let's
franchise.
Take a listen.
Like, I bet you they won't even mention the name Tarzira, you know? I guarantee you they won't. Now, I think Little Nightmares could work on a level of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Signs of significant disorder are greater than I initially
Hello?
thought.
Is that my therapist?
Europe
What are you doing here?
The sounds of nightmares.
This is
Do you
ASMR.
remember your nightmares?
I remember everything.
The first audio fiction series.
Kind of looks
from
like
the
Six
world
back
of
there.
Little Nightmares.
I think Little Nightmares is only as big as it is because of its art style and because of its ambiguity. So by not telling anybody what the fuck 6 is, who was the mirror, as you said? Who was the lady in the mask? What was the island? We don't know anything. So creating that mystery around it is part of the addiction. And then obviously, you know, Little Nightmares came hot on the heels of Undertale and FNAF and all that around that time. Otherwise known as crazy obsessed teenagers that have no place being on the internet and will probably be exposed to horrible, horrible shit and probably
Go
be
back
groomed.
to sleep,
Nice.
little one.
Because I remember when I was playing a bit of Little Nightmares, we had
answers
literally people
might be
fucking
in
role playing in the chat as 6 and Kid and all this. Same thing as well. Kids with far too much time in their hands and not enough love
So
from their
here we are
parents.
in the counsellor's office where
Jeez.
much of the podcast story takes place.
Ah yes, the
Don't worry, though,
counsellor's
we'll be
office.
heading back to the carnival soon
When?
for a gameplay deep dive of
Can I have that
Nightmares 3.
shirt?
But before that, I'll be programming
Everyone's wearing one,
Alize
so you
and
know.
Lonnie, here to guide us through the twisted world of transmedia.
Hello.
So we've left the relative comfort of the carnival. But not only that, we've left
you
the
guys hear
nowhere.
okay?
We're now in the counties.
What did you do?
Far less familiar that hadn't been explored before the podcast, right, Ronnie?
Jack
that's
Black.
right. It had been hinted at in the past, but the
Little Nightmares
was the first time we were really
okay.
able to dive deeper into this
Is
world.
it full on
It was
super
so
massive?
satisfying for us to
Don't know. I
expand
thought
that
they were
lore
kind of
and
their
shine
own
light on
team.
this strange place.
They're kind of in trouble
and we
themselves,
were
the
very
poor
lucky
devils.
to collaborate with talented
Super
people,
massive.
included some
And there was
members of our
Ballistic Moon doing
communities.
the Until Dawn
I don't know if you
remake
remember, actually.
that
It
did
was,
not work
you
out.
know,
I
that
think they're all
contest we organized to know
Bye
more
bye.
about our fans' nightmares.
Oh, I do remember. We did receive some very frightening stories.
Yeah, the creativity people shared
What?
was just crazy.
Just
And
sending in, like,
adapting one
stories?
of those dreams into an actual
Crap.
episode was a fantastic experience.
Like, that was such
and I mean,
a
since
good
the launch
story.
Of the
What do you mean
podcast,
story?
the
That's my
response
life.
Has been
I'm
so
sorry, what?
Positive. I can't believe we've already reached over 2 million listens.
From all over the world, right?
my life,
Yeah,
my
because
life,
we're
my life.
recorded in 5 languages.
Cool-
so
cool
English,
man,
French,
GAO.
Spanish, Italian, and German. And everything we've
So
heard
October
so far
10th.
was
People always just
so
check the fuck
positive.
out after they give the
And,
release
I
date,
mean,
didn't
I
they?
love hearing all the theories they've come up with.
Did someone say theories?
Oh,
I'm
here
for
comes Jane.
theories.
So
Hello.
is Jane
Hi.
just
Oh, please
asked to
tell
help
me.
her?
Don't ask
What?
me to
Like,
explain
she's still working
anything.
for Xbox?
But for real, it's that
She does a good job,
mystery
you know,
that
she's
makes
got
the Little Nightmares narrative
Clean
and its
and
world so
concise, nice
special.
to look at,
And on that
not too
topic,
heavy
we
on the
wanted to talk
accent so
about
everyone
the
can
podcast.
understand it.
Yes.
She's
we
also
wanted
got
to
that
announce
school
that we're
teacher thing going
working
on,
the
like,
season 2 of
I'm
The Sounds
sorry,
of
Miss
Nightmare.
Douglas. Please don't
It's
beat
going
me.
to take a bit of
Maybe a
time
little
to
bit.
come to life, but
July
we're
3rd,
very
you'll be
excited
kicking off season
because
1,
we're
chapter
gonna
2, split
explore
cake
even
too.
more the
Nice.
countess
Are they trying to move away
actually
from all the
there and
Michaelson's
the
actions and
nowhere.
all that stuff?
I'm so thrilled
It's
to hear
unfortunate.
that. I've already started like my second binge listen to season 1, and I guess that's just going to have to like tide me over until season 2
If you were to
comes
do
along,
something,
right?
you know, movie
Now,
or
Alice, the
TV
podcast
show
isn't the only
like
project you're here to talk
Little
about,
Nightmares,
right?
like, what would you do? What would be the best outcome? Would you go for kind of an animation?
So,
It's
Little
very
Nightmares,
like
The
Coraline,
Sounds of
very
Nowhere,
similar
written
to
by Lonnie, by
Little
the way.
Nightmares.
And it's
As a
coming
TV
very
show, or
soon.
what do you think?
And we couldn't be more excited.
That's great. Congratulations, Lonnie.
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, it's been a real passion project for both of us for
With the hype
years
surrounding
now.
like Castlevania anime and
there is
Devil
a
May Cry
little
and that.
something we've been keeping under wrap until now. I actually have the official cover
Ooh.
here.
Ooh, graphic novel.
Is that Mono on the cover?
Yeah, he's part of the story.
Okay,
Descent.
all right. Well, tell me the whole story then.
Okay, maybe
Probably
not the whole
Dark Horse.
Story.
yeah, it tells 2 parallel stories. One set
Yeah,
in the
I want a
Counties and
gnome.
one set in the
I
nowhere.
want a gnome
In the
plushie.
nowhere, we follow
I want a
little
gnome
mute, timid girl named
spin-off
Hush,
story,
and
you
she
know?
wakes up in a jail
Gnome
cell.
simulator.
And she's cold, and it's not long before
Keep
she
the
meets
gnome
Mono.
wife happy.
They're a little hesitant
Like
to
Mr.
work
Hanky
together,
from
but
South
both
Park
of them
with
have
the
to try to figure out
alcoholic
a way
wife.
to escape this cold labyrinthian dungeon. that
The
they're
pig commits tax evasion
that
and
connect
mass
to the
genocide.
counties?
Good.
Yeah, I don't want to
about
give too
time.
much away about the
She's
counties,
seen too
but
much
it
darkness in this
follows
world.
a detective named Myra, and she's exhausted.
And her mother just gave birth to the
disillusioned with
Antichrist
life,
pig anyway.
But
So.
she has a chance
Anti-pig.
encounter with the stranger that stirs.
I want to
something
get
inside
into
of
the
her,
FNAF stuff,
and
but they
after
just
that,
keep
she
shouting
decides
out
to start
games. Like
investigating
you can't finish the
cold
credits in
cases
one
of
game. It's
children
like,
who've gone missing.
stick it up the mimic.
Very cool.
Security
Count
Breach
me
2.
in. I can't wait to discover
Fucking, what's that other one
those
called?
2
Help
places
Wanted 2.
to
I'm
know
like,
where
oh
the
my,
counties intersect and
I would
combine.
like to play one of the
When
games.
can we get hold of
Oh
the
my
comic?
god.
Where?
You
the
can't,
first
you
issue will
literally
release in
can't
October,
wipe
but
your
you'll be
arse
able
after
to
going to the
pre-order
bathroom and
starting
it's
in
another
August
FNAF game.
through
Oh
Titan's
shit.
comic website or at your local
It got to the point where they were just making FNAF
How many
games just to
issues
get
were there?
reactions out
So
of
4 in
Markiplier.
total, and
And
we're
that guy's
going
like
to
dead
release one
behind the.
episode
He's
per
like, they're
month
fucking
until
dead behind the
January.
chair. Oh,
And
it's
today
me,
we're going
Markiplier
to
here.
share with
You're
you
like,
the
geez.
official trailer.
Should he really be kind of connected to the games and the kids when he has an OnlyFans? Oh my god. I don't know. No, don't get me started on that stuff. That guy's a twisted pup, I swear to god. Twist.
Thinking I could make
Okay, what we got here?
difference.
I'm talking over everything, I'm sorry.
I gave myself over freely.
Is that 6? Every time I see a girl with a bob, I'm like,
That's why I'm
is that
here.
6? Give me like a grown up
like a
6
puppet.
story. Is that 6? The lollipop.
I'm asking you to give it one more go. Work with me. The
That's
milk
6?
carton
Sorry.
cases.
Missing kids. Ooh. Is this the graphic
The
novel? Or?
vanished children. They
What
haunt
is
every
this?
mind
Like, give me
in the
graphic
counties.
novels like this, but they move. Little
A
mono.
little girl. There's always a little girl.
It's like Ella Noir or something. What is this? Pikachu
Feels
was
like
fucked
a
up
time in
video.
as
Who
many
knew,
days.
right?
I'm on a precipice.
And then they're raising other. Is that a piece of poo with a fedora on it? A corn dog? They're raising kids. They're also fucked up. Like them fucked up. And the cycle continues.
But
Give me a video game like that.
I have to jump.
Yeah, the THQ Nordic one should be cool. The Nightmares Descent to Nowhere. I mean, wow. Oh wait, a 4-issue series. Is it a graphic novel?
Incredible.
Why was that moving like
Such an
that?
amazing day for fans of the Little Nightmares franchise.
Dude, give me a movie like that.
To see
Jeez.
what everyone
Sin
makes
City or
of
something.
this.
And we're not even done yet. I think Elise and Lonnie have a few more surprises up their sleeves before we return to the carnival, don't you?
Yeah, speaking of it, we're actually working on a young adult horror novel set in that same location.
Cool.
And I can't wait for you to dive into it.
Where am I going to find the time to read all of these? Oh my God. What can you tell us about the young adult novel?
The novel tells the story of a young girl named Ruse. She
You know, that'll be
wakes up
turned
in the
into a movie.
carnival in a dark room.
I think
and she's
between
there with two other kids
A24
that she's
and a
never
few
met
others.
before.
Like, really,
One
honest to
is
God,
a
as
mousy
stupid
girl
as
with
this
a
sounds,
noose
this is
around her
all on the
neck.
back of Sonic.
And the
Like,
other one
Mario's
is
done
this
great, but that Sonic
frail,
movie,
starving boy
like those
with a
3
mask
movies, I
over
think they
his
probably
face.
crossed about 2
And
billion
in that
now
moment
on
for
themselves.
Ruse, two
And this has
things
just opened
become
up the avenue
uncertain.
for everything.
One is whether or not she'll be able to
Before
get
they just
out,
didn't take
and
us seriously
two
in
is
movies.
whether
Now
or
they're
not
like,
these
can we
kids will
make
be
a
her
quick book
friends
off
or
this? Let's
something
go.
a little more sinister.
Well, I'm already creeped
You can
out
have
and
good video
suspicious.
game movies and then
when
the
can we read the
Jumanji
book?
sequels.
It will be out in September.
Wow, so games, podcasts, comics, young adult novel. Is there anything else we can be looking forward to?
Come on.
Well, we might have something else, but I don't know. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, we have one more surprise for you.
One more thing.
It's something we've been crafting very carefully behind the scenes for quite a while now. It's a project that's really close to our hearts, and I think we have a teaser for you right now.
Movie. What the hell is that? Oh, it is a movie. It is kind of an animated Coraline. See, I told you this would work. That is so freaky. In the world of Little Nightmares. See, we don't even know what the team's name is anymore. Like, is it technically Supermassive? It's not Tarsier Games anymore. I think it's just an internal Little Nightmares team inside of Bandai Namco.
Incredible. I'm so excited to see what that becomes.
Do you see what I was saying about
there's
there's something going on right now with media where they're getting all the wide-eyed people?
Gradually revealing
It's very
more
strange.
about these upcoming projects over
I think
the
it's
coming
got a
months,
sign
so
of the
please
times.
keep an eye on our social media
So many
channels and
wide-eyed
website,
actors
if
and
you
actresses.
think you can handle it, of course.
Like, what the
And
frick?
thanks to Lonnie
I think it's a
and
certain
Lise,
level
who
of,
we appear to have
they're
left behind
different
us
to
now
look at.
in the
So that's maybe they'll
for
do
that
better. Because
treasure trove
here's the
of
thing, I don't
information.
see
Now,
the ticket
we welcome to the
sales
sofa.
or
It
the
is the
watching
producer
sales
and
of
art
someone like
director of Little
Rachel
Nightmares
Ziegler or
3, Corey
Bella
and
Ramsey
Tim.
or any of
Hi,
these people.
welcome.
It's like, oh,
Thanks for
I
having
don't know.
us.
What did they do
Now,
beforehand? Like
Corey,
fucking,
what can you tell us
what
about
was it
the
called?
content?
West Side Story? That
two
means
friends,
West Side
Lou
Story
and
means
Lulu,
literally
are trapped in a
nothing to
spiral.
most of
It's the
Europe.
part
I'm
of the
sorry,
Nora
but
that
it's
they're
true.
trying to
There's probably
escape.
about
So
5%
now
of the
in
population
Carnival,
of the
it's
entirety of
fanfare,
Europe
which is
even
filled
knows
with,
what the
like,
fuck that is.
disturbing
You know,
attractions
maybe
and
some of the
frightening
West End in
visitors.
London.
Not much fun
But
in
like
this
you talk to
fanfare
anyone outside of
scenes.
London and you
Yeah,
talk
I
about West
hated
End
fun
and they'll
places
slap
like
you
kids.
across the face.
Flashing lights,
It's like
odd
it's
shapes,
dumb shit.
stalls covered in old
You know,
soft
especially
toys.
like the more north you
Yeah,
go.
right. And it's all
Like
full
I ain't
of
going to no
noise,
fucking
people,
play. You
lights.
crazy?
It's
I ain't
very
going to the theater.
overwhelming.
Yeah, I've got to say though, as much as I hated it when I was younger,
So yeah,
this
I
label
still
is one of
don't
my favourite
don't
in the game.
understand
It's
how
really cool. Should we
Rachel
jump in
Ziegler
and take
has
a look?
a job.
Yeah, yes please.
The girl can definitely sing, no? But maybe go back to
we go.
theater, maybe.
So
Or is this a bit more? I was thinking, I was like, can we get some gameplay?
So Lo is the boy with the raven mask.
One issue I've always had with Little Nightmares, this one seems to fix already, is they've always been a little bit lower on the resolution. During the time near the middle of the PS4 generation, resolution was just horrific. So a lot of these games had this fog, that Vaseline I always talk about as a joke. It's basically when brightness is a bit too high and resolution is a bit too low, you get this Vaseline fog over the screen. This game seems to fix that. Now it has a little bit of fog in the background. Fog is fine, you know, I mean shit, Silent Hill literally made a career on it. But it has to be dealt with properly. Fog just shouldn't mean like horrible resolution or horrible pixelization.
I think it's really
It
interesting to
can
see all
work
the
well.
big vistas that
This
we
one
have in
seems to
there.
fix a lot.
Yeah,
A lot
this
of
is
the
really
issues
cool. You can
is
see that as
our
we
own
zip
brightness
across the
settings and
space now.
TV settings and monitor settings. But
Feels really 3D,
think
even though we
if
still
a
got the
game by
2.5
default,
details
without you messing with anything, doesn't look as close to exceptional as it can, and we've kind of lost the run of ourselves, haven't we? We're lost in the HDR and ray tracing sauce. So people are already talking about Death Stranding 2 being one of the most
These,
beautiful games I've ever
monsters we're
seen because of the
seeing around.
Decima engine.
So they
And
are
guess
the
what
heads.
Death
They
Stranding 2 does
represent
not
the
have?
dull grinding
Path
monotony
tracing,
of
ray
the working
tracing,
life.
lumen,
You
all
can
that
find them in
bullshit,
the
global
candy factory.
illuminations. Doesn't have
But
any of that
also
stuff.
here,
We'll
when
probably
they are
add
to
it
have
later,
a bit
but
of fun in the carnival.
shows once again. We should have never went near Unreal Engine 5. So, all right. So this is definitely like co-op. I would have loved to see 2 people in the screen corners just holding controllers. I know it sounds weird. Maybe you can play solo as well. I just don't want to be debated again for the 3rd time. Definitely said it was co-op, right? Nightmares book clubs. Oh, Jesus. Those are more like little wet dreams, not little nightmares. Oh, shit. I got fish sticks with bacon wrapped on. Oh, that sounds crazy. I think I've had bacon with fish before. Damn. You like fish sticks? Alright, the big weird chunky people are back.
Just blocking the way, so that's why they moved the candies, because right now he's just occupied and we can go through.
Nice.
I think Little Nightmares,
I can identify with that.
there's something that we don't talk about, right? But the sort of idea of kids being chased by weird forces and monsters.
I'll take your word for it.
And let's be honest, like weird adults. Oh, yeah, no, there is. The gluttony is back. It's kind of like the 7 deadly sins. And then just the kind of depressive, dark undertones. Has always kind of had kind of a child abuse tone to it, and runaways and child abduction. There's no doubt about that. There's no if you want to argue that all day, that's fine. But it's absolutely there in its themes. And I think that's another reason why so many of these teenagers have got hold of that. Because I got talking about trauma and trauma bonding a good bit. People tend to find things that have in common, you know. Like
I was
they're quite small. It means that they can be quite. I think it was one of the Digimon games. I was looking up, right, and for whatever reason, the comments, like one guy was talking about, he goes, "This game was important to me because I would play it every time my parents would fight or my parents were abusive to me." And no lie, there was 48 replies. I just whatever, maybe it's not all true. Maybe it's one person doing it. I don't know. And they were all doing the exact same thing. They were like, "Yeah. This was my game for that. This was this was that." It's like, oh my god! And there was no. It was one of those escapist games. There was no general undertones. I'm not talking about nightmares. I'm talking about a different game. But you know what I mean. People tend to find things that they can relate to to try and help them because we don't have the proper services. Every service we have that can help a child or even an adult completely overwhelmed.
Alright, fine.
You know?
Okay, I'll take the mask. I like the mask.
So I think sometimes these things are, we use games as escapism, but we also use them as relatability, try and kind of soothe what's going on in our lives.
I'm really looking forward for the players to just discover
And
the whole
we also have
story
a
that
morbid curiosity and fascination as humans. It's just how we're built. Even if we don't like horror stuff, we have a fascination to the weird, and the morbid, even as maybe some people are drawn to it, or they just have an irrational fear of it or something. But isn't it unusual? I like that kind of stuff. Here's me trying to get into the fucking human emotional kind of spectrum and what the hell we're doing with video games. But anyway, so yeah, I think all these things just land at the perfect time. Like, if you were to tell me those 10 years ago, if it was 10 years ago, that
now that'll be me.
we'd be talking about a Little Nightmares franchise, it'd probably bomb it on the spot. But you know what I mean? Like, not that it doesn't deserve it. It's just I would rather not franchisees everything. You know, Jesus, Joseph. But yeah, unfortunately they don't have 2 people just playing. Even if it's a fake demo, I've watched enough E3 demos that are fake demos.
Okay, Maya, we'll be doing this together, so we'll be much braver as a pair.
I suppose it would help if I wasn't talking over it all. Braver as a pair, huh? So I think she ran the first time and it set all these off. Kind of creepy little puppet children things, aren't they? Jesus. Nice. It's hard not to think of carnivals without, like, Final Destination or something. Look at all these fat jokes running around. Dice. And then, yeah, it was like, what was it called? The Maw or something. It was a weird little island. The commentary on most of the human-looking creatures being fat and
everyone can breathe again now. There's going to be no more puppet. Well, actually, no more
7
puppets
deadly
ever.
sins of sloth, and
Not true.
gluttony, and all that.
There's always more puppies.
Kind of is probably a little bit of a
One of the
social
cool things
commentary
about
there,
the
you know, when we
Nightmares
have
games, and it's
probably
really important
at this
to us as
point,
well,
I'd say
is
about
a lot of the
20% of
storytelling
the
is done
entire
in the
world's
set dressing.
population are getting
So
close to
all of the
obesity.
objects that you see, everything
I'm
that
not
we
just
design,
talking about
we
any
take great
individual
care 'cause we know the
country, because
fans
that's a
really love
fallacy,
looking
you
into
know.
the detail on
There's a
that
lot of
stuff,
Irish and
and they can
UK
make up
people
really
just
cool
bursting
theories.
out of their fucking
So
clothes
we
as
do a
well.
lot of
But
storytelling.
yeah,
and
it's just
placement of the
there
things
is
on
an
the
issue.
set.
There's
So you're
a
like
serious problem
consciously
going
like
on.
leaving
Good
clues
lord.
in
But
the
I
environment.
think
Yeah,
more it's
absolutely.
more
It's
just got to
really,
do
really
with
important.
Very cool.
these kids are
Thank
clearly
you for doing
suffering
that,
and
because I
trying to
absolutely
escape,
love reading those
and the
theories.
people don't.
Yeah, me
You know,
too.
the people in this world, they don't care. They're completely self-involved.
Again, the cool
The
thing
idea
about
of
this is
pissing
kids
down
who feel like
rain
you're
and horrible
sneaking into
weather
space
and
you
they're
probably
on their.
shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
It's
And
that
was
kind
one
of
the things I
dissonance
loved
again,
about
right?
The previous
The
Little
dissonance,
Nightmares
trying
games
to
as well, is
escape
the fact that you're kind of sneaking around in
their
places
lives.
that you shouldn't be.
Yeah,
Makes
but-
them feel more unsafe.
Whether
Yeah,
they're
yeah, a bit of
covering up
illicit
their pain with
trespassing.
food or fairground or whatever. Now you don't obviously have to
Little
read
puzzle,
that
I
deep
think
into it. It's
we
not.
will
It's
get
never
it
that
soon
deep.
because we don't want to
But you
spoil
know,
everything
we have
for
to
the
examine
players.
why these
Here we go.
Figure it out for
series.
yourselves.
Yeah.
Just replaying the whole
On the
thing. Yeah.
boardwalk we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, they skip
Time
by
for
a
some classic
spoiler. I
sneaking.
think. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say, as the series has progressed, I don't believe the monsters have pushed forward. I'm not overly, impressed about this one either. I hope they have more. I love something about the first Little Nightmares. I don't care what anyone says, but every single monster design was worthy of its own, kids' horror novel. Like be it Goosebumps or Spine Chiller, that kind of way. Like they were truly unique creations. From that lanky arm librarian guy to the weird chef with the fucking face mask thing. Oh my god, they were just wonderful. I love that kind of stuff. Like it still gives me goosebumps thinking about them. So weird. I just didn't quite.
There are different ways of using the tools,
move
and
over.
sometimes in the different chapters as well. You can
I think
find how
you'll probably find the
each
weirder
tool
side
will
of
be
things
useful
being
for this
with the
specific
main
chapter.
team with Reanimal, but this being co-op will be fun. We'll see if it's solo as well. I don't know, but if you guys, anyone wants to play this with me, you're more than
Oh,
welcome.
here we another blooming pinata, is it?
It's a human pinata.
These.
They'll be quite
I wonder
mean,
will
I
they
say
do
pinata, but they don't usually have,
take a
like,
page
dead
out
bodies
of
inside them.
the book of
But we
the
also
split
Fernaz, so
fiction
we
guys,
need his help.
Hazelight, and do the friend pass. Here's the thing: the friend pass I think is nearly too much good value. I think what they should do is like a friend pass, but just have it a little bit
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
cheaper. It doesn't need to be free. I think free is been far too nice. I almost feel bad. I never feel bad about getting such a good deal. I think a friend pass should be like a $5 or a $10. And I know it's like, well, Jesus Christ, that's not much different than free. Free is a big motivator, but I just feel bad. I feel
like
like
this
really bad.
like sideshow attraction.
I think the idea of the friend pass is that you can probably use it on anybody, or is it a one-time deal? I don't
you
know.
will play, you will be able to do that.
I haven't played It Takes Two or Split Fiction. I keep meaning to. I actually did play a little bit of Split Fiction over the holidays.
Nice carousel in the background there.
Finish either.
Love that.
It's hard for people to commentate something like this because from a Jane Douglas side of things, you want to,
just having
as if you're playing yourself.
Must be something good. What are they queuing for?
Like
not sure it's something
super
good.
Commentating, and then from a dev point of view, you're like, I don't want to tell you anything. Nice, but see, I don't think they would come after you anyway. Like a lot of those games, they have the implied fear, but I don't think they're going to start breaking the fence and come after you. Certain things are just.
Okay, looks
laid
like
up.
we get to go on a ride.
You think the whole game will be in the?
Okay, a roller coaster. Now, in what way is this going to be
carnival?
like a nightmare roller coaster?
We're gonna get a
I
little
think there might be some
2.5D
trees in the
or
design,
something.
but I don't want to spoil it for the fans, so people are just going to have to look really carefully and figure it out.
Something
Right.
to do with these sinister.
I love the little
bags
cars. I love the little
in the-
plague
in the
mask.
car with
Quite
us.
possibly.
Okay.
Whee!
Oh, well, at least we get to go on a ride, though.
Yeah, it looks like
it's a
they're
nice way to
transporting
see the
bodies
rest
or
of the
something.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Meat.
All right, and now the climb.
And for now, that's where we stop. We hope you enjoyed the journey. It's far from being over.
I did enjoy the journey. Thank you so much, Coralie. Thank you, Tim. That was great.
Yeah, there's so much you want to ask. I don't know if I'd be any good at those. I just can't filter myself enough.
I cannot wait
You have to be kind of
find
fake,
out where
you know.
this roller coaster takes us.
I've seen that little. Hope there's little more gnomes and stuff. October 10th. The beauty of these was they were great for a replay, you know. You gotta step up the weird and step
Now
up
that
the
we
horror.
know a bit more about the carnival, Maya, what can you tell us about the different editions that are available to pre-order?
Oh,
So
God.
before we go through that, Jane, I'd just like to remind everyone that the game will be available in both solo and online co-op modes. Plus, with the Friends Pass, people who purchase the game will be
there you
able
go.
to invite a friend for the entire game, even if their friend doesn't own it themselves.
Oh, I love that. Okay, what a
Yeah,
great
well,
way to
thank
have
you,
your friends
Hazelight, for
join
that.
you on your Little Nightmares 3 journey.
Yeah, exactly. Now about those
He
pre-orders,
started doing that
they are
with
now
like a
open
way
for all
out or some shit.
platforms, except for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. That will come at a later date.
Ooh.
Okay, and there are a few different versions.
And that's
that people can choose
Nintendo's
between.
fault. That's
Yes,
not the
there
team's
are.
fault.
So first, as well as
Nintendo
the
decided not to
standard
give
edition,
people
we
dev
have
kits
the
until
deluxe
this
edition.
console came
So
out.
this one
Isn't that
includes
special?
the Residence costume
Residence
pack,
costume,
which I'm
blah
sure
blah
our
blah.
fans will
I want a
instantly
fucking
recognise from our
gnome
previous
statue,
games.
please.
It
Expansion
also
pack,
includes
Secret of the
Secret
Spiral.
Spiral's expansion pass,
Very
adding 2 new chapters, exploring new locations in the spiral.
Okay.
And
It's
last
pretty
but not least,
similar
the
to
expansion
1
pass
and 2.
includes a costume set inspired by an iconic character from the Little Nightmares universe.
Oh.
Wow, that's a lot.
It really is, and for those who want even more,
How much?
we have the collector's edition, which includes everything from
They
the
never
deluxe,
tell you prices, man.
plus
Oh, Dark
steelbook,
6.
an
Oh,
art
she
book,
coming into it.
and
Spoilers.
What's this?
What's this?
beauty.
Hey.
And
My
take a
God,
look.
Oh, I
it's
do.
small.
Yeah, let
There
me
you
look.
go. Just
Aw.
look at those details.
Cute.
I would rather a little
I
plague
love
mask.
that. Awesome.
And
Or
if that still
plush.
isn't enough, we also have the premium collector's edition.
There
with
we
even
go.
more
Oh, it's a
content
gnome
available
phone
exclusively
holder.
on the Bandai Namco store.
Nice. They're everywhere,
will
those
also be
bastards. I think I have
by
like
the way,
people.
an
I don't know why they're like
extensive
stocking
lineup of
filters. I have like
merch.
3 of them. I have like a
Hey.
Groot and a
Look
Master
at this.
Chief one.
Yeah.
Yeah, how
I've been
much is
eyeing In
that?
fact, I've got mine already.
Where'd
What?
you get that from?
From the Bandai Namco store.
Of course.
Wow.
And there's a pre-order bonus that you can tell us about.
Yes, there is.
I'm surprised they
we
talk about this
absolutely
stuff so
loved
willingly.
The first 2 games, and you know, as fans ourselves, we really wanted to give.
Oh, you're gonna get the
players
free
a nod to
remaster?
our beloved 6 with the Dark 6 costume sets.
Alright.
Well, that's perfect because
Dark
I don't
six.
think any of us can get too much 6.
Never. And for those who want to see even more of 6,
There we
I'm
go.
very happy to announce that over 8 years after the release of Little Nightmares,
That's
we'll
8
be
years?
releasing the enhanced edition of the game on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. And that will be at the same time as Little Nightmares 3.
Oh.
Do you want to take a quick look?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, this got leaked like a month ago. That's why I was bringing it up. Why bring it out the same day though? Give it like a week or 2 to let people play it. Still a cracking game. I think that part's from the DLC. Rediscover in mesmerizing 4K. Now you see it's only next gen only. Now they're only doing that. This easily could run on all the other games. They're only doing that to create a situation. See what I'm saying about that kind of foggy, washed out stuff? You can literally see the difference. It's mostly a resolution issue. People say it's HDR. Look at the difference. So washed out. I hate Nintendo games to me are very washed out. Switch 2 is doing it better. Yeah. But that fucking chef, man, he still gives me nightmares. Twin Chef. Great game. Still holds up in my opinion. That should be... There she is. That game should be free with one of the collector's editions. But anyway. It's great they're going the friend pass, but you gotta thank Hazelight for that. They brought that in, thank God. There was a couple of games that tried to do stuff for that. It was like basically 2 copies for a little bit more expensive. Yeah, why October 2nd? That's so strange. And only Switch 2 as well. That's good.
Now, how did you like that?
I loved it.
See, my issue with this stuff, so they're talking so freely about pre-order bonuses and random crap and digital crap and more crap, free crap, stuff the crap into it. Crapaholics, right? But nobody talks about price. It's a big fucking to-do, you know, zip, throw away the key. Well, why won't you just fucking tell us the price? I'm so annoyed with video game developers. I think half the time they're trying to figure out the price.
See that we've added ray tracing, volumetric
But,
lighting,
you know,
all
it's
of
pretty
those
obvious
things
it's
that
probably
add
going to
so
be
much to the
$70
atmosphere
instead of the normal
while staying
40
true
or whatever
to
it
the
was.
DNA of the game. We've also added
But it gets
new gameplay
really annoying. They want you to
helpers
pre-order,
and
they want you to
checkpoints,
wish list, they
and
want you
that's to make the game
to
even
pre-download,
more
and
enjoyable
I have
for
no
console
concept of the
players.
price.
So it's going to be
I
a
have to
great
literally
way for
try
someone
to
who's
get the
like
Rosetta
literally never
Stone
played the
and
first
break
game
in,
to
hack into
experience it
people's
for the
computers
first
to get the
time,
fucking
but
price for a
also,
game.
if you did
Now
play
it
the
usually
first game,
tells
you
you
kind of
within the
relive it
week
with a
of
new modern
or the day of,
experience.
and it's like
Exactly.
that's fine,
And to
thank
give
you.
everyone the
That's
chance
completely fucking useless to me like 2-3 weeks. You know, I
will
don't
be
know.
available immediately.
Let me know.
For anyone who pre-orders a digital edition of
What's
Little
this?
Nightmares 3 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series,
Pre-ordered
and
play now.
PC.
Oh.
Oh, wow. So I basically need to go play it right after we finish doing this show.
Yeah.
Well, you might not have to wait that long, as I think this concludes our show for today.
Oh, but not on Switch too.
Little
Did you see
Nightmares
that?
3 will be out on October 10th,
not ready.
2025 on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4,
Jade.
Xbox Series and Xbox One, Nintendo Switch and
Nice.
Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. And you
God,
can go
just
to the Little Nightmares
fucking
website
kill the
to
Xbox
check
One and
different
PS4
pre-order
and
offers
Switch
in
already,
your
please.
country. As mentioned, Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders will open at a later date.
Yeah.
And
It's
don't
not their
forget to
fault. I
join
know
our
it sounds
new
stupid.
Discord server for
Nintendo
all the
give
info
all
on
of
the
these
franchise.
devs
Yeah, it's a
really
great
late
place to
dev
share your
kits.
wildest theories.
Even if
I
it
know
takes
Maya
a
loves to
month
read
or
them
3 months to get your
almost as
game
much as
on
I
Switch
do.
2,
Oh, I really
it's
do.
very
It's
good. You
always
still
great to
need the
see what our
freaking dev
amazing
kit.
yet little bit distorted community has
You're probably gonna see
I
a
know
lot
I'll
of
be
good
right
bit.
there
That's why
after the
all
show.
the Xbox
But
games are
before we
being only
wrap up
announced for
today,
PS5
we've
and
got
not
one
Switch 2
final
yet.
small surprise for you.
They don't
A
have
very
dev kits.
Sneak peek at another project currently in development.
Oh, another project. Oh my! This is why they did a showcase, and fair fucks them. I love the comics and stuff. Not something I jump out of my way to get, and that's why I was a super fan. I do have a couple of Dark Horse comic video game. Sometimes the preludes and all this kind of shit. I know prologues. There we go. But it's mainly part of collector's editions. It's hard enough to get them outside of going to like Play Asia or what's this? Like a crossover DLC or something. Remember those doors? We never did find out what happened to 6. Dark 6. Oh Jesus. And then there's VR. Oh, for God's sake. That's not one more thing.
Amazing stuff. I cannot wait to experience Little Nightmares in VR. But I guess I'm going to have to be a little patient for that one. With that final surprise, we have come to the end of our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm off to play Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition while I wait for Little Nightmares 3 to come out in October. I will see you in the nowhere.
Yeah, not to be cheeky, but I assume we can just do what we always do, boys and girls, which is pre-order the game, get the code, and then cancel the pre-order. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but don't link things. So do you get the Enhanced Edition for free? It's probably like 50 on its own. Yeah, looks like the game probably will take place fully in the carnival. Could be cool. Yeah, there you go, super massive. I actually think they may be the developers on it. It's quite confusing when they can't handle their own franchise stuff. I think there was supposed to be an Until Dawn too, but the remake and everything is just falling through. But that's Sony for you. When I was growing up, they had a toy manufacturer called Tomy. It was like, trust Tomy. Now it's like, trust Sony. Don't trust me. It's a good, it works well. It's a good theme for a game. It's creepy because, you know, it always has had, you know, I think Tarzir are a Spanish developer. So it's always had this kind of European horror vibe to it. And when you think of old school, weird European, you think of those creepy kind of French circuses, huh? Should be good. The only problem with Little Nightmares is, like, how much are we desensitized, you know, it still work? Do you go completely 3D? Do you just make the games longer? Like, what do, you know? Tough one. Nope. No one we know. A Dark 6 makes me think she's gonna play a part in it somewhere. The gnomes are back. The gnomes. They're the only actually connecting thing between them all. Interesting. How's it going, DPG? Hello, hello. A fish dicks. Alright, yeah, here we go. Pre-order now. Yeah, they just won't talk. It just really pisses me off when they don't talk about price. They talk about all this pre-order stuff. Pre-order to play now. But you can see, yeah, see, you can get PC, PS5, Xbox Series X. So yeah, they're trying to push. But then the Nightmares 3 is available on everything, even the old gen. Right. It's not confusing now. They just want as many people as they can. Honestly, if Little Nightmares 3 doesn't sell well, it'll be the end of the franchise. You won't get any of that other stuff they're talking about. Because Tarzir have kind of not washed their hands of it. They've moved on, you know, they're doing Reanimal. They probably were finished with Little Nightmares, but just like most of these devs, they're like, we're not finished with it, you know. Bandai Namco wants to squeeze as much out of the juice as they can.